Silence! It's time! It's time! It's
time for another episode of the Drunk Nerds podcast.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Nerds podcast. Sit back and get back and get back and get grab a six-pack, sit back and get back and get back and get grab a six-pack, sit back and get back and get back and get grab a six-pack, sit back and get back and get back and get grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Nerds.
Welcome everybody to the Drunk Nerds podcast, episode 44. I am your host, the Jack of Hearts, and with me this week, my normal ragtag group of partners, along with our special guest today. So, from the far east and stuff like that, I'm just gonna go ahead and just go with Gingerboy. How you been doing?
Far East?
Far East? Wait,
what the fuck?
That sucked. Dang, you ruined my intro. It's all your fault, Jack. The Far East.
I'm farther east than he is.
I thought you guys were. God, there's two people that are farther east than me. Anyways,
Gingy, are you a secret Asian?
Secret Asian?
Secret
I'm
Asian.
a secret Asian man.
I don't know if we can be friends.
Secret Asian man.
Secret Asian man. Anyway.
Very far east.
All right, and the other voice that you're hearing and stuff like that is Knuckles. Knuckles, how you doing, dude?
Doing better now that Gingerboy's
I
a
thought you were
secret
gonna-
Asian man.
I thought you were going to talk about me.
I have the worst of both worlds. I'm Asian and a ginger. It's
It's all down here from here.
yeah.
Down here
All
from
from
here.
here.
I bet you just got ferociously picked on as a child.
Yes. Awful.
Oh, he Asian, but he had ginger hair.
I'm the most popular race, but with the least popular hairstyle.
I'd argue that Asians are not the most popular race.
Populated, I meant.
Populated, okay. I was going to say, because, you'd be wrong.
Canadians?
Yeah. I give you fried rice for free. You come next time.
Goddamn Mongolians!
Alright,
This is Knuckles' intro. I'm
enough
sorry.
racist, please.
We just stepped on his moment.
We stepped on Gingerboy, so it's perfectly fine. But
I'm used to it.
yeah, I'm good. How you doing, Gabe?
Oh, could be doing a little bit better. But
I love this.
But before I get into what really I've been up to and stuff like that, let's go ahead to our special guest right here. So,
Hi.
Sam Wright,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm good. Hey, Resident Evil 6 isn't that bad. I just want to.
And that's the end of episode 44. Good night, everybody.
That's the last time you're ever gonna hear Ginger.
I'll never be on the show.
That one hurt. That one hurt the anus when you said
After 6 months of disappearing, you're back on, and that's the first thing you say. Really?
Yeah, well, I told you I would. I'm gonna pull the curtain up from behind the.
You're gonna pull the curtain up from behind the curtain.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull back the curtain here. We talked about this before that we recorded the episode, and I swore on everything that was good and holy that I would mention that, and I did. So.
Thought we were friends.
I thought you were more than friends.
I wouldn't say friends so much. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
I like
Lovers?
that sound in Sam's voice. It's like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say we're friends per se.
I wouldn't really say friends so much as
No, I'm more of Sam's social media stalker.
acquaintances.
Yeah.
Do it. Acquaint. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm Sam. I used to do a thing, and now I don't do that thing anymore. So it's been
You can go into detail if you want.
Well, I used to. There's a Geek Time I was on before, and we recorded a podcast called the Geek Time Podcast, and the schedule that we had to set for that was a little rough for me with my general schedule. So I had to give it up. And geek time is sort of not a thing anymore. There's a new thing that we're doing now, which I will talk about later. But it's good to be on the show again. It's been a very long time, and I missed it. I miss not being responsible for the show.
Of all the things to miss.
I should say. I didn't necessarily miss the show, per se. I missed the lack of responsibility. I could do anything, and you can't stop me. So.
I'm going to hate editing this week, am I?
Yep.
Probably.
Oh, with a passion.
I'm gonna eat in front of the microphone.
You do that, you're seriously
gonna-
not coming
I'm gonna-
back.
I'm gonna eat the microphone.
These are all things Jack has done already, actually.
Hey, what's going on? Guys?
What the heck? Ow.
You're welcome. You are so welcome.
Alright, so we're recording a 15-minute podcast this week, guys, so...
Yeah,
Apparently, the 6 months Sam hasn't been on, he's forgot how to record a podcast.
Oh,
You don't
boy.
actually
Great
put the
success.
microphone
No.
in your mouth.
great success. How to eat microphone.
All right. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and get into what we've been playing this week. And you know what? I'm going to have Gingerboy start off because, you know what? I feel like starting off with him for a change.
I bet you do.
Wow.
God damn it, Knuckles. Anyway.
First off, I want to say thank you for not overhyping me again. Appreciate that.
No, next time I'll let. Hey, Ginger Boy, what's you been playing? Pew, 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 pew. Pew, pew.
Hey, it doesn't have to add. You don't have to add the sound effects anymore, Gingerboy.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
I don't add any sound
I got
effects
it.
anyways. No, I have, like I said last week, I picked up SteamWorld Dig, and I am digging it.
Ha ha ha.
I didn't mean to do that. Actually,
Oh
that
my
just kind of happened.
God. Anyway, carry on.
No, so I had a lot of fun with it. It's a weird game. It's hard to like. I was trying to talk to a friend about it, and I was explaining the game to him, and it doesn't sound cool at all. Basically, you are like a robot going to like an old west town, and your uncle owns like a mine, and you go into he's disappeared. So you go to the mine, you find his body, and then you gotta like just basically dig dug, and find the secrets of it, and you like unlock these powers, and you get all these new equipment. It's kind of like a weird, almost Metroid style.
Metro.
Yeah, I always get those fucked up. But anyways, no. So it's like God, I can't say it. Metroid style, where you as you go on, you unlock new abilities. Like then you get the drill, then you get this weird like metal fist thing where you can shoot, shoot and destroy blocks and stuff. And you just dig farther and farther deeper into the cave. You find, or into the mine, and you find caves in there, and it has like secret things you can find, like for like power ups, and you find gold for, and you could buy upgrades. It's only like $10 on. Okay, there, Jack.
I'm sorry. I was just listening to your like description intently. It just sounds like you were.
It sounds like Minecraft.
It just sounds
yes,
like he was just
okay?
like, okay, let's go ahead. Let's just go. We're just like this golden fist type thing and stuff like that. Just go with like just fisting inside the blocks and then just do all this other shit.
It sounds like Minecraft.
We're fisting in the caves. And so, oh, look at this! I found this. And like, oh man.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead. My mind's going on a tangent again.
No, it's not like Minecraft. You don't like actually build things. You just kind of like dig farther down. You find and you explore them.
That's how I play Minecraft.
Oh, okay. I've never played Minecraft. You know I can't play it. But no, I'm enjoying it overall. It's only like $10 on PlayStation 4, and I believe it's on 3DS as well. It's been out there for about a year now.
Yep.
I would say it's actually a pretty solid pickup. There's not really a story to it or anything. There might be. I don't really know. I'm not really paying attention to what the people are telling me. But no, I would say
Great listening.
yeah, it's not really that entertaining. Anyways, I did for about 5 minutes. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Overall, I would say if you're looking for just kind of
You're just the worst.
what?
He's actually really good at this shit. It's just
like,
you.
there's
He's
some-
trying to
there's, like-
impress you.
Yeah, like there is a story, but I didn't really pay attention to it. It wasn't cool.
I don't really think there is a story. Honestly, it's just like you keep telling
you
hey,
talk about how your dad, you had to go find your dad, and your dad was dead.
uncle.
Your uncle. Sorry, your uncle
Obviously, his
was
listening
dead.
skills are terrible too.
It sounds like the plot is.
Oh God, Uncle Robo. Anyway.
No, basically you go and you talk to the town folks, and they tell you, like, hey, go explore this section of the mine now. And you just dig farther down, you find that mine, and you go into that cave, and then you find, like, a new power.
It's like, hey, I know your uncle's dead and all, but go do work for me, please.
Basically, it's kind of, like, I don't really understand exactly what... I think you're just trying to find out what he was looking for, from what I can understand, from what your uncle was looking for, and why he died looking for it. So, I don't know, I think that's, like, as deep as the plot gets. It's a $10 game. It's not a big... It's a small indie title. It's not a big, it's not Call of Duty where like they have all these big cinematics or anything like that. So I don't know, I would say it's for $10, nothing to play right now. I don't think there's a demo, but I'd say if you can find a demo out there, to find a couple videos on it, check it out. It's actually pretty fun.
Anyway, let's go ahead to Knuckles. What you been playing, man?
Well, I've been playing a couple games, mostly getting back into that old pain in the ass zombie survival game, DayZ.
Okay.
And I was having trouble with it. Having trouble playing it. I respawned. I was instantly colorblind, and my vision was going blurry.
What?
I was like, "Fuck! What the hell did I do?"
You say I was rendered colorblind. It's not something you hear every day.
Rendered colorblind from playing the game. Oh.
No, it was like my character was colorblind and the vision was going blurry. And I was like, "What the fuck did I do?" And
did you download the drunk mod?
I played on that character for probably about 45 minutes, and eventually got killed by a guy who said he was I'm friendly. He's like, I'm friendly. Don't attack me. I was like, okay, I'm friendly too.
Oh no!
I step away from my laptop for about 2 seconds,
and he's dead.
And he's like. And I'm unconscious. Come back with my headphones. I am unconscious. The guy stole my raincoat, my meds, my fucking my hat.
Not the raincoat.
Oh my god, the raincoat! Oh no!
And your manhood.
Well,
not the raincoat. Never the raincoat. Skillman's raincoat.
It's over the line.
Are you gonna be like this on the entire episode, Sam?
I can. This is why people don't ask me to be on podcast.
Yeah.
No, I just. You just sound. I just said because he sounded just so upset about it. He stole my raincoat.
Well, it was fucking. Well, everyone knows in DayZ that pretty much anything can kill you, even the weather.
Wow.
And I had my raincoat on, so obviously it was raining. It was a bad storm.
Okay.
I was going into hypothermia.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to avoid that. The guy stole my raincoat, left me nothing but my fucking boots. So I'm searching throughout this entire... when I finally woke up, I had nothing but my boots and my pants on. No meds, no blood packs, nothing. Finally got this wrench and was like, I'm going to hunt down this motherfucker.
Okay.
So, found a wrench, trying to find the asshole. Ran into 2 zombies. I beat the fuck out of one of the zombies with a wrench.
Okay.
The next thing I know, I got bit in the fucking neck by the other zombie and got killed.
Oh.
So he didn't kill you. He just stole your stuff. Then basically,
he knocked me unconscious. Basically stripped me down to my bare essentials, and
stole your manhood from you.
And basically, stole my manhood, but
stole your sweet virginity.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it that sweet.
Isn't that how we all lost it? Really?
DayZ sounds like a game that I would
Same
hate.
here.
Do you like Dark Souls?
I like what?
Dark Souls?
I don't know.
Dark Souls? You mean like...
It's been nothing
Dark
that people
Souls,
have been
no.
talking about.
I hate Dark Souls.
Then yeah, you're gonna hate DayZ.
I played Demon Souls. This is a true story. I played Demon Souls and I got so mad at it that I threw it out a second.
What? Oh my god.
And I never retrieved it. I don't know what happened to it, but I threw it out of a window.
As far as you know, it's still there.
As far as he knows, he's probably hit some.
As far as
hit some sort of kid just going passing by on his bike. You know, it's like all of a sudden you see the kid just compulsing on the ground. It's like, oh, what hit me? Oh, he just goes.
Well, I don't live at the place where the window was. So, for all I know, it I don't.
Well, let's get drunk and go on a drive. We'll
it would
find
be
out.
so funny. It's just right there. It's all weathered and shit. It's like it's been out in the rain, been out in the snow. It's been out there for like about a year now. And it's like, oh, when is somebody gonna pick up this garbage? It's like, oh, you just saw some random flowers just growing off of it, and then a dog just comes by and it starts pissing on it. You know, just like all this other shit.
And then you try it in your console, and it magically evolves into Half-Life 3.
Is that the new thing? We just like make a Demon Souls garden, and we just bury them all, and then they sprout into Half-Life 3.
Yeah, I guess that's how it works.
Logic.
Wow.
You know?
But going back
fact-based
to
science.
DayZ,
Okay.
going back to DayZ, the moral of the story is don't trust anyone, shoot and kill on sight. If they say they're friendly, they're just going to try to rape you.
So don't trust internet. Is that what we're
much.
saying?
Don't trust the internet. If you're on the internet, you should obviously know by now not to trust anyone. Like, I don't even trust these guys I'm recording with.
Okay, then.
Okay, well, fuck. Obviously the joke was taken too far for y'all, but oh well. Fuck it, pussies.
All right, well, let's go into what Sam's been playing. What have you been playing?
I've been playing, and actually I'm presently playing Final Fantasy 14 on my PS4, and it's really good. I'm a fan.
Awesome.
Okay, that's me done.
Okay.
No, it's
Sam,
it's
can I
really
just say you are just the worst? All right,
good. I know.
come on.
You are just the worst. That is the dumbest idea I've ever heard. No, let me not do this. That is just the worst. Okay, I just quoted the Lego Movie.
Great movie, by the way. Everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome. I really like Final Fantasy 14. I was originally gonna get I can only really afford one MMO at a time, and I was gonna get Elder Scrolls, and I played the beta for Final Fantasy 14, and it convinced me to cancel my Elder Scrolls.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. It's really fun because I played a little bit of the original Final Fantasy 14, and I don't know. It's like it's a completely different game. They fixed everything.
Cool.
And it's just fun. It looks gorgeous. I'm just having a really good time with it. So there's that. I've also been playing Infamous Second Son,
How have you been enjoying that, though?
which is really cool.
Evil or good?
I'm playing Evil right now. I've beaten Good already. But I'm running through with Evil right now. It's a really short game. I think the story is great. I think the characters are great. I think the powers are really fun to use. But it's really short. It's even shorter in comparison to the other Infamous
Really?
games. Never mind the other open world games, but it's real short compared to Infamous games, which is kind of sad.
That's really
but,
surprising.
Yeah, which I was expecting a lot more, and I think Sucker Punch still hasn't perfected the art of open world. I think they haven't really found a way to make their open worlds feel alive, honestly, and it looks really great. It's a gorgeous game, but it's just like their world doesn't seem real. I don't feel like I could get lost in their world at all.
Yeah, and we talked about it a couple weeks ago, but I feel like there's not really a lot of substance to the game. Where you don't when you're not doing any the main story stuff. You don't have any random dialogue with the other characters in the game. You barely even talk to your two sidekicks. Unless you're doing those. You see them in the last mission of the game, and then you talk to them when you first meet them, and then you do a mission with each of them throughout the game.
I think you do two missions with each of them, and then you
just move on to steal someone else's power.
Pretty much. You move on to the next power, and then they all show up at the end of the game to help you, and that's pretty much the extent of it. Which is really sad, because I like the characters too. I like all of the characters.
Yeah, it feels like they spent so much time working on the game in Seattle that they didn't put enough time into the story part of it. Right. Where they just kind of built the world, and they built everything around it, and then they just kind of plugged a story into it instead of building a game around the story.
Because I'll give them that. Like, the story is really good. I think the premise for the story is really good. There's just not enough of it, and there's not enough fleshed out. Honestly, I think all they would have needed to do to make it like a satisfyingly long game was to flesh out the side characters a bit more, give them more missions, and everything. Give them more missions.
Give any
put in a couple, put in some more.
Give
side
any
missions somewhere.
Just have a couple side missions. There really isn't any side missions. Like, other than collecting the shards, there's 0 side missions in the game.
Huh.
Yeah, which is really strange. Like, there's nothing.
Yeah, considering, like, coming back from, like, because I recently completed, like, Infamous 2 not too long ago, like, at least about a month or so. That had plenty of side missions to it, though, but when I go on and I try playing Second Son, I could not even hardly find any type of, like, side missions that were possibly there.
It's because there isn't. It's just collectibles.
Oh, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And which is real. Yeah. And I mean, I tell you what, it's a game worth playing. It really is, but it's not the system seller that Sony wanted it to be. Yeah,
it's like what you said a few weeks ago, Jack, where you said to Vincent, where like you could probably just wait till this game's about $30, and I think that's a solid price point for it.
Yes.
It's not maybe rent it.
Yes, and I still agree with that
because it's not on. There's no online. There's nothing big like that. So it's not a game you have to play right now. To like where it's not you have to play it online. There's not everybody's playing it right now online. There's none of that. You can go back to this game in a year or two and get as much enjoyment out of it as you did when it came out.
Thing.
And honestly, in a year or two, they'll probably have some DLC, and you'll probably be able to buy an edition that has. You probably have an edition that has a
Game of the Year generation with every DLC and a skin code for Cole.
Well, you did have like a.
Right.
There better not be a Game of the Year edition because this is not a Game of the Year.
But like all games that aren't Game of the Year have Game of the Year editions all the time. Like,
that's true. I guess
it's you can't. There's no real other name for a collection like that. Because I think that at the end of the year, people will probably consider it in a list of Game of the Year contenders. Just because it was the first like great PS4 game. But
I think if you look at the release schedule we have right now, I think it'll be like I said a couple weeks ago. Actually, it would be looking at the release schedule we have right now and how hyped I am for each of these games. Like it would be in my top 5 by default, really.
Right.
But I think if once E3 hits and then we get like the Destiny and if Watch Dogs lives to the hype, then we have Wolfenstein coming out that could be good. Then there's a few other games out there that this could it'd probably be in the top 10, but not. I don't know if it'd be top 5.
Yeah, what I was saying, I think what am I trying to say right now? I think that Watch Dogs is going to be the open world game that people like really gravitate to. Honestly,
as long as there's Haas day one,
as long as there's something interesting at all on the online thing. I mean, people will go back and they'll play it, obviously. But if the online, if the online thing isn't there,
I've been interested in the idea of Watch Dogs for a very long time, and everything I've seen on it is just fantastic. I do appreciate the delay quite a bit. Because it seems like
I liked how.
Done,
what were you about to say, Knuckles?
It seems like they've done. No,
I was going to let him finish talking.
I was going to say because I feel like that they actually managed to do a lot of stuff that they were wanting to do with it, with the time needed for the delay. So I'm pretty excited for Watch Dogs.
Yeah, Watch Dogs is going to be pretty interesting though. But just going back a little bit to Infamous Second Son for a bit. I could say that living pretty close to the Seattle area, actually walked around the city of Seattle, I gotta say, when I'm playing Infamous Second Son, there are some things that really match it quite well. I mean, a lot of the buildings, a lot of the business type of scenery, some knockoffs for certain businesses, but there's one aspect that's missing from Infamous Second Son that's, like, really prevalent in the city of Seattle. I mean, it does not feel populated enough to where it actually feels like an actual living place, kind of like what Tyler was saying.
That's exactly
because it's weird because you see it's sort of it kind of feels like a post-apocalyptic type of thing where it's like it's just so weird because you have kind of like crowds over here like running to and fro or something like that. Then you have these security guards placed in random like checkpoint spots, like full with other people or supposed conduit stuff, locked in cages and stuff like that. It's just does not feel populated enough. from the city of Seattle. You know.
Yeah, the game almost feels like it wasn't quite ready yet to be like I'm not. It wasn't like it's not a year away from being ready, but if it got another 3 to 4 months in the oven to kind of like flesh out a bunch of like, I mean, these are like nitpicky things. This is a really good game. It just doesn't do it. It doesn't bring, like I've said before, it doesn't bring anything new to the table. I mean, it's just, I think if it got there 3 or 4 months in the oven, we could be talking about, you know, maybe actually a game of the year. Maybe it's a 90 or 95 on Metacritic, not an 80.
But anyway, I'm just going to go a little bit what I've been into playing, because I haven't really been playing anything new over this past week. No, what I've been doing is mostly like going forth and, well, I'm actually starting to get back into a little bit of competitive Pokemon stuff for Pokemon Y.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's the thing. Well,
What a
here's the
nerd.
thing. I joined a tournament like last Sunday, on one of the websites I go to, and no,
Game
it's not Game
Battles?
Battles. It's
Was
a
it Game
site
Battles?
called Insider 2, which is a prominent Nintendo website that's based originally from the old Insider like web form that Nintendo used to run years ago. But anyway, this tournament is like a whole like random like a one-on-one type of situation, like for online battles and stuff. So basically, the task for this tournament is just like build a team of 6, do like 3-on-3, individual type of things, single battles. So for my team, I've just been really drilling it, because I'm just thinking about, okay, what do I want to use? What's this? What's that? I actually spent most of the day yesterday training a Smeargle of all things. And for those who don't know what a Smeargle is a Pokemon that basically cannot learn any TMs, no HMs. He only has one move, and that's Sketch. But
Splash.
But the thing about Smeargle is he has infinite amount of possibilities in order to set up a team. He's a good lead, but his stats are absolutely terrible. Everything else besides maybe his health and his speed. So by doing EV training, you do like 252 for health, 252 for speed, maybe 4 for whatever. I know, I'm getting all into this, dude.
Yeah, you
4
were
for
such a
defense.
nerd. You're such a dork.
Wait,
such a
coming from the
dork.
guy that can do the Pokemon.
I know, right?
Listen, man, that's just childhood.
So what I'm going to be delving into here, folks, is
I don't-
something a little bit complex here. So for most of yesterday and today, I've been actually going forth and trying to teach this Smeargle different moves from sketching, like different Pokemon that I have. Because I used the Pokemon Bank and transfer a lot of Pokemon from my previous games, I have moveset here of Dark Void, which you can only get from a Darkrai, obviously.
There's a move called
Dark Void. It's from a legendary Pokemon called...
Does it start Nola North?
That's a good tie-in, dude! I see what you did there.
Skype high five, Knuckles.
References.
But the basic premise is it's supposed to be a lead-off Pokemon, so where I use a move called King Shield or something like that blocks. It's sort of like Protect, where it prevents the Pokemon from attacking Smeargle, but instead it lowers down the attacking Pokemon's attack stat for like about 2 stages or so. So by that, I'm supposed to be doing like a buff or something like that for a move called Tail Glow. What this does just raises the special attack stat of like a Pokemon by 2 levels, which is pretty damn huge, especially if you run like a Pokemon that has a lot of special attack. So by then, you're going forth and you're doing a baton pass into that Pokemon, then you pretty much can set it up for pretty much like a sweep, sort of. So, yeah, long story, incredibly short here. That's pretty much what I've been doing. So let's go ahead and get into our topics.
Are you okay?
Oh, jeez.
Why are you giggling about that?
He's ashamed.
Well, no, I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I've just been playing so much Pokemon Y that I'm just freaking exhausted. I swear to God, I have like about 90 hours in that game now.
Wow.
I can see how playing the video game is exhausting.
Okay. Well, anyway, first up on our agenda right here, we have a quick note, obviously. The Last of Us for PS4 is rumored to come out June 20th. Okay. Where's this come from?
Didn't we
They
say
said it
that
was announced, though, but it's the actual
already
release
announced
date.
last week?
It was
Which
a-
is some different.
It's been on a couple websites. I just threw it in there real quick, just because we've been talking about it a lot lately. I just thought I'd throw it out there as quick news that It was a couple websites that posted that. It's not been announced or confirmed for that date. It's just that a few websites have posted that as the release date for it. So
So
I just threw it in there so that way people listening know.
We don't know for sure yet, right?
Yeah, it's the weird thing is June 20th is a Friday, so I imagine that's a UK release date. So maybe it's just actually.
Well, some games have been coming
Sony
out
releases
Friday.
a lot of their games on Friday. Like Infamous Second Sensing.
That's a good point. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
True.
I'm pretty sure The Last of
It's
Us
sort of
came
become
out
like
on
a
Friday, too.
That
it's
actually-
sort of
that
become
is
like
true,
a,
actually.
like a trend
So
of the past
that
couple
could be
years
the
of
release
game like makers releasing their game on Friday, which is kind of smart because it leaves people the weekend.
Or you have the weird one
Okay,
like
go.
Nintendo.
Which is a very
Yeah. Well, like
True.
Nintendo releases some of their games on Sundays. There's always and like their consoles are always coming out
Nintendo
Sundays.
releases.
Agreed.
So Nintendo releases most of their games on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like all the first party
Yeah,
ones.
Pokemon X and
It
Y.
was
I think,
really weird.
released on
It was
Monday.
weird. It was like
It was on a Saturday.
Pokemon X Saturday.
Yeah, it
on
was on
Saturday.
weekend. I know
Well,
that.
anyway, let's go ahead to our next little topic right here. It says, by statistics standard from, like, I'm not too sure where exactly that statistic came from, 30%, 37% of Steam games bought aren't played. Obviously, I feel as that's no shit. What do you guys think?
I have not. I can vouch for that. I have 19 games normally. About half
Yeah,
of
like
them are
about 30
downloaded
so.
on my PC.
I don't know. I'm fairly new to the SteamWorld. I have 8. I've only paid for 2 of them actually. Well, no, 3. I guess no. I have 10 now. So I've only played for or paid for 3. And
Make up your mind.
I'm sorry. I am literally. We were recording for like 30 minutes. I am on my 5th beer already. I am kind of drunk. No, so I understand that. Well, I've actually only maybe played I think 3 of them, and like one of those was more than 2 hours. So they don't really go into. I want to know if that's actually like they literally just bought them and never
Yeah.
even booted them up,
That happens a
or
lot.
if that's like they didn't play for X
Oh
amount
yeah,
of
there's
time.
a
Honestly,
I just kind of thought this was kind of an interesting stat. They just kind of released today.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
all
that's
these
honestly
sales,
what I think it is because
yeah, all these sales.
you were
and
gonna say the
stuff.
sales.
All these sales, like, oh, I've been meaning to play that game.
Oh, dude.
Download. It's
Yeah,
only
those-
50 cents. Hell yeah, download.
I know those Humble
play
bundles are
that.
good
Oh,
for that
I'm
because
not
a
gonna
lot of the
install
games
it.
that I've gotten off of Steam have been for those deals from Humble Bundle games, like say like games like Bastion or Super Meat Boy or all those other things where you can get them for next to nothing pretty much. I got all these games set up here right here. It's about I could swear about 30 games, and I have not even gone through and played a lot of them. So
The only games
I think-
I've actually played on my Steam is DayZ, DC Universe Online, Fallout New
Castle
Vegas, and
Crashers for me.
GTA 4. Those are the 4.
I-
Those are the 4 of the 8
I-
games I've downloaded.
I have like 40 games on Steam, and I've only beaten Mass Effect 1 and 2 and Portal 2. I played even less of. I played a bunch like. I've played certain ones like I have Geometry
No.
Wars, and I played that. You can't really beat Geometry Wars. But aside
You can just
from
do
that,
a
I
little
haven't
bit better
really played-
each time.
Right. It is. I've also played Psychonauts, but I beat that on a PS2, so I don't really count that. But yeah, I've booted up even less of them. Like I have Dota 2, still haven't played Dota 2. Just
I've played a little bit of it. I just can't get into it.
No, I got like
don't
Witcher 2. I got for like $3.50. I got Kotar for
So you're the prime example for a Steam user.
yeah. Like I bought that on May 4th last year. On the May the 4th or whatever for $1.50. Never played that. I got Gone Home, which is some people say the game of the year of 2013 for like $5. Still haven't played that.
I disagree heavily, but okay.
I don't know, I've seen it on people's list at least for like game of the year, usually their top 5. I don't. And then I've won a bunch of contests. Like I never win contests on like Twitter. Really, I rarely ever
Yeah.
do. But when I do win them, they're like stupid little games on Steam. It's like I don't win like the free Xbox One. I get like, the $4 game on Steam. I got a few.
Let's
of that.
see.
I got,
Saints Row the Third is $4 on Steam. Lego Lord of the Rings is $5. Lego Marvel Heroes is $5. I can see
Actually,
why
I
gotta get off Steam
honestly,
right now.
I think Gone Home. I feel like they probably should. Whoever made that game probably should have just written a book.
Yeah, really.
Because it's just reading. It's all just reading. That's all it is.
Well, so is like point and click adventures too, really.
Well, yeah, I know, but like there's like this game you have full control over yourself. Like it's a first person game.
Okay.
And you know the whole point is you take a plot and you take the plot and you read a bunch of like journal entries and stuff like that. It's just write a book.
Yeah.
Okay? That's all you need to do.
Yeah, but he gets more. He'll make more money this way, though. And I'm sure he probably made more money off that game doing it this way than he did writing a book.
Yeah, really.
Actually, I did just realize I got Batman Origins for free like 2 days after it came out on Steam, and I still haven't played it yet.
Huh. And yet you bought the PS3 version of the game.
I bought it. No, I rented it on 360. No, somebody.
You still spent money on it.
I just. Yeah. Well, no, like. They had a deal where if you bought like this graphics card or something, you got a free copy of the game, like a code for the game. And the guy already bought the game on 360, so he just gave me the code. I got Battlefield 3 on here for free, so I haven't played that. Probably won't play it.
Your,
It's like
your
25
laptop
gigs.
won't be able to hold it.
Yeah, I know.
Probably not.
I have a really nice laptop too. I don't know. I'm scared to boot it up on here actually.
Well, you know what? The last game I actually played through to completion, I've actually beat one game on Steam, and the game that I've beat is Proteus.
That's one of the ones I got for free. Some played it.
Well,
That's the
you
one
know
on the.
what?
That's the one on the island, isn't it?
Well, it's the 8-bit type of look and feel. You're like exploring this big old island and stuff. You have to go through all 4 seasons and stuff. You basically can go through the game for like an entire hour and beat it and stuff. But yeah, that one was a fun game. But still, it just is really telling that I have all these games and yet I've played through maybe one Steam game and like all the others are like, oh yeah, nah, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, I took off the. I had the Steam app on my iPhone, and it would always send me alerts about what's on sale. And I actually unfollowed Steam on Twitter because for like 3 weeks there, I probably spent like $10 or $15 on Steam games, and I just never played them.
Okay.
So, no, I find the Steam sale is a great idea for making money, but not so good for the developers.
I can somewhat agree with that.
Because I mean they're getting money, but I mean when they make their next game, no one really they're not getting their name out there. Not everybody plays. Half the games out there no one even plays. So I guess it could be.
I feel like the people who buy games on Steam and then don't play them are Steam's target demographic.
I think so
Yeah.
too. I think they're more attracted to the sale
Basically,
aspect of it.
they're basically buying the games, but not using Steam's bandwidth or Steam's
Right.
Yeah,
servers
no,
the
for
game.
Steam it's great. It's all great. I wonder if it's the developers like it. So I'm curious. I would like to see hear developers talk more about it. Like as far as indie developers go, anyways, about their games going for $1.50 and like they get a little bit of cash for it, but it's like nobody plays the games that these like 3 or 4 guys work so hard for.
I think one of the main reasons why I don't play any games on Steam currently at the moment is, well, after my laptop was pretty much crapped out, I got this all-in-one HP thing, and the only game I can really play right now are some really basic games, but it has trouble running Castle Crashers sometimes, so it's like...
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Ooh,
Castle Crashers, of all games.
yeah. My laptop, it's not like it's a nice laptop, but it's not built for like.
If
I'm not going to be playing
if your
Battlefield 4 on it.
If your computer can basically run Portal decently,
Yeah.
you have a decent low-end gaming computer.
Yeah, that's what I think this is, pretty much.
Yeah, sadly, I bought my laptop just to record podcasts with these jackasses.
And he enjoys it every week.
Yeah,
Especially the editing.
yeah, it's fair part actually.
Okay.
Should I eat the microphone again? Is that?
No, that is
Please
not cue
don't.
for you. To,
Please don't.
that is not the cue for you to eat the microphone.
Let me yell.
It is
really
cue for you
loud.
to
Let
do
me
your
eat.
Joey Wheeler impression.
Do you- Hey guys, we're recording a podcast. Gonna play my baby dragon for 500 damage, and then I'm gonna play Time Wizard.
Oh
and
no!
He's gonna spin the wheel. He's gonna spin the wheel, and if it lands on the right one, it's gonna turn to 1,000 dragon. And then I'm gonna play
Please.
polymerization. I gotta win the tournament so I can pay for Serenity's operation.
Oh, it's always my
Now it just got sad.
Serenity.
That is my favorite impression ever of all impressions.
Oh,
Thank you for that.
It just got sad.
I did I don't know if anybody's listened, like, because I have a new show called Toast, which is like Tops, except we watch just random animes. But I did an impression of Joey Wheeler with the voice of one of the teen
Oh
girls.
my god, that's
which I'm not gonna do
sounds
now.
amazing.
Please do it.
So there's that.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you just have to listen to the podcast for him to do it.
Yep, sounds pretty good to me.
Yep.
More incentive, guys. Listen to Sam's podcast.
It's a date. Let's go.
Okay, let's go ahead to our next topic right here. Let's see. Halo composer let go from Bungie. Now, what's this all about now?
All right.
Marty O'Donnell posted on Twitter that he was fired from Bungie without cause. And then about an hour later, Bungie posted a thing on their website, which is like this really like half-assed goodbye post that they're going to miss him and everything like that. And I think this smells like fish. It really...
Some people like fish.
I don't... Yeah, well, yeah. Some people do, but other people don't.
Most don't.
That was the truest statement anybody's ever said. I think it's weird. I really think it's weird that they would... He's been with the company for pretty much since the beginning of Bungie. And he's made some of the best video game music.
Iconic, pretty.
Like, I could possibly... iconic, yeah. Like, the Halo theme song is an iconic video game song. At this point.
Yoshi Fett's favorite
And
music. The Gregorian chant.
Right. I think there's way more to the story than we're anywhere close to knowing about, because they wouldn't just fire him without cause.
There has to be
like
just
that.
cause. I mean, if the guy was that influential and stuff like that, he must have done... He either has probably did a lot of shit to piss them off to a certain extent, or well, who knows? Maybe it is not just cause.
Because like the whole good game, by the way. But the thing about certain companies is Bungie might be one of those companies that can't tell you why you're being fired, because there are certain companies that are they have like unionized companies have to tell you why you've been fired, but there are certain companies that they can fire you and they can't tell you why you've been fired, otherwise they're going to risk like legal
legal some states are that way. Like the state of Iowa where I live, you have to tell them why you're being fired. If you get fired, they have to give you a reason why, or they can sue you. So he might just be in a state where they don't actually have that law, so they can just fire you. For me, I'm like I don't know if it's a. I mean, it is odd that he's actually been terminated, but I can look at it as Halo is in Bungie's past, and maybe they want to separate themselves from Bungie as much as they can, and maybe the music that he made is already finished for Destiny, or they didn't like the style. Maybe they thought the music he was doing
too Halo-esque
was too thank you, Knuckles, was too Halo-esque. So they wanted to go to a different style. Where I can understand that Destiny is their future, Halo is their past.
Didn't they?
I don't understand why they would fire him for that though. Like, he's plenty useful. He's got a very versatile musical style.
Yeah, I'm just spitballing here. It is odd that he was terminated.
Didn't Marty O'Donnell and Paul McCartney do something with Destiny?
So yeah, I remember something vaguely about Paul McCartney had something to do with Destiny. So. Actually, that makes more sense. Maybe they fired Marty O'Donnell to get Paul McCartney to do the music for Destiny.
Huh. That'd be kind of funny.
I love. Think about if we can have Wings doing the music to Destiny, I'm in.
I was literally just about to say, I hope it's Wings.
I am totally in for Wings being.
That is the least sarcastic statement I've ever said. I hope it's Wings.
I don't know if y'all mentioned this. I kind of got cut out of the Skype call for about a minute. But to me, this kind of feels like you're getting rid of. It seems like George Lucas and fucking J.J. Abrams getting rid of. God, what's the name again? I lost it.
John Williams.
John Williams.
John Williams, for Star Wars, and bringing on some other person. It's like, Like how?
It would be like if they fired John Williams from Star Wars and hired Wings.
Right, pretty much.
No, I kind of disagree with that. Where Star Wars is a genre. It's it's Halo. This is a company. This isn't. It's not Lucasfilms. John Williams doesn't do every Lucasfilms movie. This is different. This is I think they just want to separate themselves as much as possible from Halo, and they maybe I don't. And for all I know, maybe I almost said John Williams. Marty is making the music for Destiny, and his music's done, and they no longer need the services, so let him go because he's just more money on the bottom line. I don't know.
Let's go ahead and go into our next topic right here. Sony sells their shares in Square Enix. Quickly, what do you think? What in the world's going on here?
They probably need money, and they're probably not confident in Square anymore.
Yeah.
It's probably a combination of both.
I think they did say that they're going to cut two big businesses to become profitable again, Sony did. And it is kind of interesting. I honestly didn't know that Sony had shares in Square Enix, and I also want to know why is Square Enix games on the Xbox? And oddly enough, every time a game is sold on Xbox, they make money off that. Kind of a weird thing. When I was reading this, but I don't know, I feel like they own like 10%. I think almost 8 or 9% of Square Enix. Like, why would you let Final Fantasy 13 become?
Well, see, you don't. If you only own 10% of the company, you can't have controlling interests in it.
Yeah, but I mean, who owns the majority amount though? I mean, it could be like 30 people that
51%. Whoever owns 51% of the shares.
Is there one person that owns 51% though? What if it's just like 30 people own the company and one person owns 11%? He's a majority owner. Just saying. I don't know. I don't know much about how the shares are split up. I just thought it was kind of interesting the fact that every time it's kind of like how the Blu-rays are now. Like every time an Xbox One is sold, Sony makes profit off of the Xbox One.
The fun thing about that is though the Xbox One Blu-ray player sucks.
It's more of an app than it is actually.
I just want to throw out there, I think the majority owner in Square Enix is probably the slack-jawed yokel that decided that Final Fantasy 13 needed 3 games.
Probably.
Well, was it Final Fantasy 13, 13-2, Lightning Returns? Were those the games?
I thought Lightning Returns is
actually like Lightning Returns was supposed to be like 15 at some point. Actually, no, it was supposed to be Versus 13 at one point, but then it got turned into 15, and then we have this like trilogy of like 13 games stuff. But
no, because Versus 13 is always going to be what 15 is now.
Yeah.
Because like Final Fantasy 13 was supposed to be like a trilogy thing, but it was supposed to be Final Fantasy 13, Versus 13, and this like mobile game called like Agito 13 or something like that.
Agito, yeah.
Yeah, and then none of those went to fruition. They made 3 Final Fantasy 13 games, and they've just turned Versus 13 into Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, I stopped playing Final Fantasy games after Super Nintendo.
Wow, that sounds like Yoshi Fett.
Anyway,
get out of here.
That does sound like Yoshi Fett. Obviously, it's like, I played Final Fantasy 6. And I don't really give a crap about this.
Terrible impression.
I know it's a terrible Yoshi.
Well, actually, I played them. Technically, I played them all on Game Boy Advance, but they were initially Super Nintendo.
I will agree with him. The Final Fantasy 6 is the best Final Fantasy.
I agree with that.
I kind of like 1 quite a bit. 2 is pretty good too.
Get out of here! Get out!
I haven't completed a Final Fantasy game, so hey.
Dude,
really?
I remember perfectly where I was the first time I finally beat Final Fantasy. I was in study hall in high school. I did every day. I went to study hall, and that's all I did. I'm pretty sure I failed like 3 classes trying to beat Final Fantasy. Worth it.
And now he's recording a podcast.
Yeah. Now I make all this money recording all this podcast money doing this. Totally worth
Hopefully in a year or 2 we can become financially stable like PlayStation.
Yeah. I just spent
we just have to sell off 1 or 2 companies.
Yeah. I actually sold all my shares in Square Enix for $8. I own 1.
And ironically, Sony bought them. No.
They own 1 share now, actually, and it's mine.
And then all of a sudden they sold it for about $48 million. It's like, hey, imagine that.
They should have held on a little bit longer.
I know. But yeah,
Martha Stewart when you need
I
her.
actually believe that maybe Final Fantasy did play a part in them probably selling off like some of their shares and stuff. But well, at the end of the day, it's like all the random games that Square Enix has been putting out the past couple of years. Some of them have been making a profit. I mean, the Final Fantasy 14 game and stuff that we're doing this MMO stuff is obviously probably making some profit for them, but like long term, I could understand why they want to try to sell some stocks in them, since it's kind of unsure at the moment, how they're going to be doing profit wise.
It's not confirmed. We're going on a tangent here, but WrestleMania 34 might be in Columbus.
WrestleMania 34, yeah, that would be awesome. I would totally.
I'm saving up money for 32, but I would definitely go to 34. Not that far away. I just want to throw it out there.
Man.
That was pretty cool.
Well, what's funny is the last. Yeah. Oh man, I'm just trying to think of the last WrestleMania that was near me, which was actually WrestleMania 19 in Seattle. But yeah, that whole matches and stuff. Like
26 was in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
26 was Atlanta. Yep. It was in the
I could
Georgia
have went
Dome.
that if I was actually a fan of wrestling.
Man, I'll tell you.
Well, they are planning. 31 will be in Levi Stadium.
Oh yeah, the new 49ers Stadium.
Niners, yep. So I'm not going to go to that one, obviously.
Well, obviously.
No. I do have a group of people. I am pretty excited. Going a little personal here. A few buddies of mine, we have decided we are going to go to WrestleMania 34 in Dallas at Cowboy Stadium in 2016.
It'd be kind of funny, if we know that Yoshi Fett, Josh Radin, like he doesn't really give a shit about wrestling or something like that. Like, get him tickets to that. Have him go to the
31
49ers Stadium.
Oh God, be in Giant Country and Niner. Oh, that'd be his worst nightmare.
Oh my God, that'd be so perfect.
And watching
too.
wrestling, it'd be his worst nightmare.
And then he would encounter people with shirts or some provocative shirts, like say one wrestler humping another, and his daughter would have to try to explain to his daughter again.
He'd probably kill himself.
He might actually do it. And then we'd be somewhat responsible. We should buy him tickets.
We should buy him tickets. Get him front row seats.
I'm actually. I'm actually kind of mad that I missed 26 because 26 was actually in the Cardinal Stadium in Arizona.
No, 26 was in Georgia Dome.
No, 27.
Oh, you're right. Yep,
Dome.
26 was. You're right. I'm sorry. 27 was Georgia Dome.
Yep. I remember because 26 was the last WrestleMania I watched before I stopped watching
You
wrestling.
picked a good time because then Miz main evented 27.
Oh my God!
It's the dark days of wrestling.
No.
I think the dark days wrestling are 2006 and up.
I kind of agree with Knuckles there because, for God's sake, the last time I was actually into wrestling before I stopped for about a good solid 2-year break was it was right after Brock Lesnar and stuff was left and stuff, and all of a sudden you get the fucking John Cena and the whole Umaga freaking feud going on and all that other shit.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I think the last
Umaga,
good feud.
Umaga died.
Yeah, Jamal. Yeah, he died 3 years ago.
Oh my God, yeah, that's true.
3-minute warning.
The power of 3-minute warning.
I stopped watching in 2008 and then started up again in 2009. Never watched it since.
I think the exact time where I stopped was right after that WrestleMania when Bobby Lashley won against Umaga, that WrestleMania match where Donald Trump actually had a chance to shave Vince McMahon's hair or something.
Yeah, where he
like
shaved
that
his
shit.
head. Yeah, that was a bad.
It was right before the Nexus came on the scene and did all that crap, but yeah, I don't regret that. I started getting back watching wrestling around 2011. I think it was
the pipe
after
bomb?
CM Punk. Yeah, after CM Punk's infamous pipe bomb, it's hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I can actually get into this a little bit more.
No, I think we're going to wrestling tangent now.
Yeah,
I think
good.
right now, if you fell out of love of wrestling, now is the perfect time.
Get
We're going to
back
talk
in
about WrestleMania 30 mainly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Let's do it.
Because I was
WrestleMania 30.
I was sort of paying attention to the build up to WrestleMania 30, and then I bought the network just so I could watch it, and it was really good. And then Raw was really good the day after. I was like, yeah, I'll just do this.
Oh my God,
now.
yeah, dude. Oh man, WrestleMania 30 in a nutshell, I thought had a lot of there was plenty of interesting but like really like surprising moments as well. Oh man,
Yeah, I honestly think I didn't think I'd ever say that a John Cena match was my favorite match of WrestleMania, but John Cena versus Bray Wyatt was the best
Really?
match that night. Just for like the storytelling, and it wasn't the best wrestling match, but the
The
storytelling.
only problem I had
that.
with that match was Cena winning. Where the story's going right now, Bray Wyatt should have won that match.
yeah.
It kind of hurts the story where they're trying to get the monster of Cena to still come out, but it's like, well, Cena won. It's like, so why are we still trying to get the monster out?
I think that Bray's probably going to win.
He has to win an Extreme
He has
Rules
to.
in order for this thing to actually
Yeah, you
carry
can just-
on. You know.
Yeah, for it to be
Yeah, but
legitimate. Because I think Husky Harris is now one of the most compelling characters in the business. Honestly.
But I think you look at like the last few WrestleManias, like 27, 28, 29, they had so many, I'm using quotations here, part-time guys.
Yeah.
We had Brock Lesnar, who only wrestles
Yeah.
4 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
Undertaker shows up once a year. You had The Rock show up. He's only around a couple months out of the year. But they had Triple H wrestles a few times a year. But they had so many guys. It's just like you build up these guys year round, and then you just put them on the bottom of the card at WrestleMania, the biggest event.
Oh
of
my
the year.
God.
Usually, they used to build like. I mean, look at like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Mick Foley. These guys were like the centerfold, and these guys were made at WrestleMania back in like the WrestleMania in the teens.
Yep.
And now it's just like you have these, like you have the CM Punks, you have the Dolph Ziggler, you have these really great wrestlers that you make them your focal point 9 months out of the year. But when the Royal Rumble hit,
Oh my
like you
god.
just put them on the bottom of the card, and like these guys come in for 2 or 3 months and just take the top
Oh man,
cards.
yeah,
And-
yeah. A good example was like a Royal Rumble for like 2000. I think it was like 2013 or something like that when they had The Rock win the title against CM Punk, for him to headline WrestleMania with John Cena winning the Royal Rumble. I mean, God,
Yeah.
it was.
which was the worst decision I think I've ever heard of. CM Punk is probably the best just character wrestler or whatever
Yeah.
out there.
I agree. I
I don't
from the
blame him.
standpoint of like
He's-
say how he delivers his promos, how he delivers like his character. I mean, he's an awesome heel.
The thing is, though, he's not a character. Like
Yeah.
you look at like some of like the best wrestler, like the best, I guess over personas in the history of wrestling. They were themselves, but they just turned the volume up to 10. You look like a Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Stone Cold, The Rock, Mick Foley. These
Yeah, that's pretty much that's just CM
Yeah.
Punk like
CM Punk,
being crazy.
CM Punk's an asshole.
That's
I mean,
just-
that's who he was.
Yeah, that's just him. That's just him being like crazier Phil
Yeah.
Brooks, you know.
And what I loved about, I mean, going into WrestleMania 30, what I loved about it was there was like Undertaker was really like, and Triple H even to the point where he's not really a part timer, but he only wrestles a few times a year. But Undertaker deserves the right to like wrestle once a year. You know, like he has earned that right. He didn't leave the company, come back.
Right.
You know, because no one else wanted him. He came back. You know, he's earned the right. He's been around for 25
Oh my
years,
God,
maybe
yeah.
longer. But I mean, you look at like there was no big part-time guys. It was just their people they built. You know, they had a lot of young guys in it, and like Cesaro came up is like probably one of the next big things in wrestling today.
He will be one of the
Claudio
next big things,
Castagnoli. I wish they would have let him keep his name.
Claudio.
Oh,
His like real
Antonio.
name.
For-
Claudio.
Oh,
for
Claudio,
Claudio,
yeah. Oh, can I just
Also-
say? I would just. Okay, Sam, go on ahead.
Well, one, that's his real
Yeah.
name, so that'd
Yeah.
be pretty cool. And two, I think that calling him, I think Antonio Cesaro sounds much cooler than Cesaro,
Yeah,
than just Cesaro. So-
WWE logic. Drop the first name. Just put.
It was
in
like Big E
whatever.
Langston's no longer Big E Langston. He's just Big E.
He's like
yeah, he's
Big
just Big E. It
Nope.
doesn't make any sense.
Sounds like.
But
Big
I
E
just
Mac.
really love where wrestling where they built on like John Cena wasn't even like one of the main, like he was like probably the 4th biggest match in the card. Where the 2 previous years he main evented with The Rock, one of the biggest of all time, and now he is like he's just like I love what they're doing. Like I like Cena somewhat, but they kind of pushed him back, and they're letting these young guys come in and make a name for themselves. And I'm just so
really.
excited for the future. Where like really for the last 10 years, WWE's done a pretty bad job of making stars. They just
I agree. For the past couple of years, it's absolutely been horrible in my
Yeah,
honest
you look-
opinion. Because they've
really-
relied on the same dudes for like years and years.
I'm really happy that they're finally giving Daniel Bryan.
I
a
mean,
chance.
they're basically
Well, fuck yeah,
forced to though. I mean, if
Yeah.
it was Batista and Orton in the main event, that match would have bombed.
there's no way that
Absolutely.
there's no way they would have convinced me otherwise that they were that going with the Daniel Bryan was their original intent, because I think they were full on set for having Orton and Batista battle.
No, the
at
crazy,
30.
the crazy, the crazy
do
thing
that.
was though was it was actually supposed to be Punk versus Triple H at WrestleMania.
Yep.
But basically they were forced to because Punk
But when-
quit.
yeah.
Like they'll go with Daniel
Yeah.
Bryan.
on Raw.
Well, because what Daniel Bryan said was that he said the only reason why he was in this position is because CM Punk
Yeah,
left.
and then the fans basically made it
And-
happen.
yeah,
We
The thing about CM Punk leaving though is that he's still on their like roster.
yeah, his contract doesn't expire till July, so
The
Yeah.
streak is over.
I
Stunned
know.
silence. I stood up from my chair and I just like looked at the TV like I was so shocked.
the streak. Or yeah, that.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was one of those like this is one of the worst builds they ever had. I think for the last few years in the streak, where the streak is probably the
Yeah.
easiest match to book. Every WrestleMania,
Yeah.
it's basically this
Yeah.
guy wants to beat the streak and make him look like he has a shot, make him look strong going into WrestleMania, and they made Brock look like a coward. So pretty much, I think nobody bought the fact he was going to win. You look at he hit that second F5, the crowd was just not into that at all, or into the match
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
And just like
Because for all intents and purposes, The Undertaker was really tired. It was not a good match, but it's going to be memorable because Brock Lesnar
Yeah.
beat the streak.
well, here,
it's unfortunate it was a bad
well, you
match.
know what?
Go ahead,
When
go ahead,
honestly, when I was
Jack.
watching that match, I could notice that the Undertaker. I mean, there was something going on with him. There's something that was physically wrong with him and stuff. Because when you look at the match, he was all slow. He's trying to pull his spots right, like the thing with the old school, counter it into like the F5 and stuff by Brock Lesnar. It just seemed like in mid-match that Undertaker made the call, like, "Oh man, something's wrong here." Give him the decision.
Well,
Kinda-
actually, that's not the case. I thought that was what the rumor was that was the case. They changed it at the end of the match, but what actually it sounds like it was changed at as far as late as Friday or Saturday night. They made the switch that Taker decided
Yeah.
it was Taker's decision to
Yeah.
lose. And it sounds like as late as Friday or Saturday, when WrestleMania is on a Sunday, that he decided to lose at WrestleMania. Like, basically, and I understand why he did it because he doesn't know if he's gonna come back or
knows?
not. Instead of every year, instead of next year, like them expecting to come back and he doesn't. Like, hey, I can go out now, and people probably won't
Yeah,
expect me to be back next year.
I was reading
So I
this
think,
this just completely this ridiculous rumor that Mark Calloway died, and that's why he wasn't on Raw or whatever.
No.
No, he
No, I
hasn't.
know.
I watched a video of him leaving
Yeah,
his hotel.
with Michelle McCool.
Yeah, I won't blame him. He's got a supermodel wife and a daughter. I
No
don't blame him
shit.
for not coming back. But like, I mean, you look at him after that fight, after the match, though, and like he was leaving his hotel room the night.
Yeah, he was
after,
limping. He just
Monday
looked
night,
rough.
and he's. I mean, I think he just knows he doesn't have it anymore. I mean, in wrestling, Lesnar is not easy. Like Lesnar is legitimately like, he doesn't wrestle like a wrestler. He is physical. Like, he'll get in the ring. He's gonna hit you. I mean, he's not gonna hurt you, but like he's not gonna injure you.
He's not
But
going
when
to
he
be
hits you,
dainty
it's gonna
about it.
hurt, and you're gonna feel it. It's a tough style, and I just think Taker
Yeah.
at his age and the beating he's taken, he just can't handle it anymore. But I mean, Knuckles, you're back now. What do you? Okay, so Knuckles, what's your thoughts on WrestleMania 30 in the future of WWE?
I don't know. It was, like you said, Taker looking at Taker during the match, he seemed different, and in the age of these newcomers, where he's probably a little bit him and sadly Triple H are the only thing that's left of the old time of wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even before
Yeah, the
that.
Attitude Era.
I mean, really,
yeah, even
Yeah.
the new
And,
generation of guys.
Yeah, and it's like those are the only two people that are holding on to the past, and it's sad you see that. I don't think Taker can hold it up anymore, and age does kill wrestling, and it sucks.
Oh man, I know. I mean, when Undertaker lost that match to Brock Lesnar, I just couldn't believe it at first because I was just watching it like everything else. It's like, okay, he's gonna kick out after this third F5. It's like, oh my god, he didn't kick out. It's like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden, gives the He's like, you just see the pan out to the crowd, that one black dude. It's like
the guy that became the meme.
I know. It was just so funny.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
It
she
was
did
just
an interview with
hilarious.
him.
It's like all those reactions. It's like I was just laughing at the reactions of the audience, like more so than I was shocked about the Undertaker losing. I mean, I was actually kind of glad that his streak ended in a way because, for God's sakes, the guy could barely put on the match and stuff with Brock Lesnar, besides maybe a few spots. But
Yeah, the only problem I have with it is, I'm not going to respect it because it's Undertaker. I don't respect it. He picked Brock Lesnar. It was his handpicked decision to lose to Brock Lesnar. The odd thing is the original main event for WrestleMania 30 last year was supposed to be Rock versus Brock. So who knows what could have happened? Maybe like who he would have wrestled this year at WrestleMania. Maybe it could have been John Cena. I think if he would have lost to Bray Wyatt or Roman Reigns, or Cesaro even at WrestleMania, and that he broke the streak, that guy is a heel and a moneymaker for life.
I don't think so.
I don't
No,
believe that.
I don't.
I don't believe that at all.
I think. At first, I thought it was a little ridiculous, but I think that Brock beating the streak was probably the better idea, honestly. Because
I can see
I
Brock
agree.
coming in as a face after he gets rid of. I can see this whole argument with him and Paul Heyman say, "Without me, you wouldn't have been able to beat Undertaker." It's like, and then Brock getting pissed off and then just F5ing Paul Heyman.
But
that'd be nice to see.
See, that was my initial thought. I thought it was a bad idea to have Brock win it because this guy is 36. His contract is up at the night after WrestleMania 31. But I could see it now where you build Brock up. He's a part-time guy. He's only going to wrestle 4 or 5 times a year. But you build this guy up and you have him just dominate for the next year. Have him beat Bryan at SummerSlam. Have him win the title.
Maybe not.
And
SummerSlam,
go into WrestleMania 31.
Yeah. Well, here's
Extreme.
I wouldn't think Extreme Rules.
I think I would say having him lose the title after a month it just destroys Bryan. I say you give Bryan 6 months to build up and be a strong guy, and then lose at SummerSlam to Brock because Brock's not going to be back for a while. The way his contract is set up, he only does a few dates a year. But you have him. That's your big match at SummerSlam is Brock versus Bryan. Have him destroy Bryan, win the title, and then imagine if you have say a Cesaro or Roman Reigns or Bray Wyatt even or whoever, like a young up and comer, going to WrestleMania 31 and not only win the WWE World Heavyweight title, but beat the guy that beat the streak.
Well, because the way
he's a baby face.
The way that they set it up, it's actually probably better that a part timer like Brock beat the streak, because you have to have, if somebody normal beats the streak. Honestly, I think that the person who beat the streak, regardless if they were a face or a heel, would probably be the most hated person in wrestling. And I think that having Brock Lesnar, who was already a hated character, beat the streak, they can book him as this mystical creature that destroyed the Undertaker, and then they just since he's a part timer, he can just be booked as undefeated. He can win a title, do whatever, and then finally somebody that they want to push really hard can beat him, and that's what's going to make them a moneymaker for life. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it'd be. You look at Cesaro or something. Just have. Excuse me, but look at Cesaro. It's easy. Have Cesaro with Brock or with Paul Heyman for a while because he's the Paul Heyman guy now. Have him with him, and then say Cesaro wins the Royal Rumble, and around then maybe that causes a kind of an issue because Brock's a champion, and it causes an issue where, Cesaro is the Royal Rumble winner. He's going to face Brock at WrestleMania, but they're both Paul Heyman guys. Cause that conflict, you can turn Cesaro babyface and have him face the heel Brock Lesnar, and have him win the title and beat the guy that beat the streak the same night. That guy is probably going to be bigger not only won the title, but he beat the guy that beat Undertaker at WrestleMania, and that guy is probably made for his career.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go into Wrestler of the Week, and the Wrestler of the Week is going to be the Undertaker.
Scotty too hotty.
God damn it! I'm just going to go ahead with the Undertaker. Why? Because hell. He's wrestled for so long, about 20-something years. Sure, his streak ended and stuff like that, and he'll forever be known for his feuds, with, Jake the Snake Roberts and, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and have, excellent WrestleMania matches with guys, with Batista, and Randy Orton, and Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, and stuff like that. But he was thoroughly enjoyable, in my honest opinion. He was known for his choke slam, his tombstone pile driver, his top rope move that he calls the old school. And he's also the only wrestler that I'm actually know that actually had themed matches themed like around him, like with the casket matches and like the buried alive stuff.
Hell in a Cell,
false.
Even, yeah.
False.
Really?
False. Great Khali Punjabi prison match.
Oh my god, that's right.
Oh god, that was the worst.
Even
match
with
ever.
Undertaker.
You had two big dudes.
The weird thing is Khali's not even is only in one of the two ever Punjabi prison matches. He wasn't even in the first one.
Oh my god.
Who was in the first one? It was
Batista and Taker. It was supposed to be Batista and Khali, but I think Khali got hurt.
Oh Jesus Christ.
So the Undertaker replaced him.
Oh wow.
Yep.
I come and go on the WWE Network and watch that match
A
now.
Punjabi prison match.
Hey,
oh my
the
god.
first one, I think it was the first one, but that was actually a decent match.
Well,
But-
the problem with that is the Punjabi prison match. You have two tall guys constrained inside the like two separate cages, and you go forth into this main cage shit. It's man. Well, anyway, that's the conclusion here for Wrestler of the Week, The Undertaker. Knuckles, you want to go into random Twitter follower of the week or whatever?
Do I need to do that? Let's see. Is anyone here worth it? Let's see. I could do at Shanghai 6 for Operation Supply Drop.
Do Jabbertron.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You can do that one. I don't know what that is.
Well, I'll think that it's so good. Well, Geek Time is sort of dead, but Jabbertron, which is as it sounds, JABBERTRON.com, is alive and well. And we're doing a couple new podcasts, like that anime podcast Toast, which stands for That One Anime Show and Toast. Yeah. We really wanted it to spell out toast because it was just Toas at first, and we were like, what can we put at the end of this to put a T on there? I was like, toast?
That
I was
anime
like,
show
yes.
Toast.
So, yeah. And so we got that. The other guys are doing a newscast. I've also got like another podcast that I'm going to start doing here pretty soon. So it's our new jam.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah. So Jabbertron.com, that's also at Jabbertron on Twitter, Facebook.com/Jabbertron, and you can follow me personally at Sam Wright DPS because I'm just that awesome.
All right. Well, for us, the Drunk Nerds podcast, we have a Facebook page, which is Drunk-Nerds, obviously, and on Twitter, it's Drunk_Nerds.
Lame.
So if you want to give us a follow,
And
stuff.
real quick, for the record, Sam, I knew what it was. I was just trying to get you into it, to do it yourself.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. You know what you could have done? You could have said, "Hey Sam, why don't you tell us about your website?" Instead of being a dick.
That's true.
I see. The thing is, though, I'd rather be a dick. I got to keep that persona going on.
The mystique.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's a persona,
Right.
huh?
Persona.
In quotes, persona. End quote.
He just goes off and like just goes ahead and just like pulls that that persona like Voker or something like that, or does freaking like a whatever the hell it is.
Why do you think I didn't give a real Twitter follower of the week? I was trying to get someone to go
anyway.
on. But yeah, continue. Sorry, I interrupted the host.
Yeah, it's no big deal. Anyway, let's go.
Nobody interrupts Jack. Nobody interrupts Jack.
So that about does it for the Drunk Nerds.
Jack, let me interrupt you for a second. I'm really mad.
Anyway, so
I'm
what was
really
thinking-
mad that you were being interrupted right now, Jack. I'm so sorry for you. I'm really sorry. Let me just clear my throat real quick. I'm really
Okay.
sorry for the interruption.
Let me clear my throat.
Well,
I'm sorry, Jack.
well, anyway, let's go ahead and end this podcast before we all start to do things we regret. And that's about does it for episode 44 of the Drunk Nerds podcast. I have been your host, the Jack of Hearts.
I was Gingerboy.
I was an asshole.
I am part black, and that's why you should love me.
Or,
Also, Skype
Yeah,
sucks.
good night.
Good night, everyone.
Excuse me. Few too many beers there. Anyways, we're on iTunes now, so go on there, check us out, and if you like us, leave us a review, and we'll even shout you out. And Jack will send you his credit card number.